Good Saturday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Joey only here in Wells, BC, 3,153 feet above sea level in the Caribou Mountains. Reporting on atmospheric river hitting Vancouver coast, Vancouver Island coast, hitting down there hard tonight. And lots of snow should be sneaking inland, but don't worry about that because we do have a big warm-up coming into British Columbia. That Pineapple Express is bringing us the pineapples. Okay, let's go. There it is. This is bad news. My God.
Falling out right now.
Anything could happen. Get on! Wow. I'll watch the video later. Ain't dry mopping this. All right, here's this system approaching the coast overnight last night. As you can see, here comes the sunrise, and now it's starting to make its way down the coast, hitting around mid-coast, starting to touch onto Vancouver Island. By this evening, it should be making its way down into southwestern parts of BC. As you can see, Alberta Clipper now forming out there, making a little bit of snow on the backside for southern Alberta. Nothing on warning yet. Looks like maybe a little bit going through central Saskatchewan as well. And then we have over in Ontario through the evening, a band of snow seems to have passed through, or rain, whatever was going on there. It's been snowing a lot in the north. I'm not sure about the south, so don't quote me on that. We've got a little bit of a low pressure system there in Newfoundland, which is delivering some precip as well into them. Standard. But look at our little atmospheric river here that we were expecting to approach, and it's reaching out more or less. If you look at it, in reality, that more or less reaches all the way to the Philippines. So that's a real long stretch of moisture across the North Pacific, right? Let's have a look at a few things here as we go today. But this is what we'll be in a few minutes here, looking at this line of moisture that's reaching out across the Pacific. Doesn't look too cohesive here right now, but I think if we look at vapor and precipitable water and humidity, you'd see that there's actually quite a connection. Here's the bad news battle board for this morning. It's about noon actually now that I'm making this. I think. You got the first rainfall warning up the west side of Vancouver Island. Could see between 90 to 130 millimeters of rain there, West Vancouver southern sections, including Port Renfrew. There'll be significant rainfall, and the freezing levels are going to rise, right? So that rainfall is going to hit higher up into the mountains, although we don't have any special statements from the BC River Forecast Center yet. But that might change if we see some melting going on in the next few days. We might see some high stream flow advisories or things like that. Prolonged period of heavy rain and rising freezing levels will begin this evening. The heaviest rainfall can be expected Sunday and Sunday night, but will continue through Monday. The highest rainfall amounts will be near Port Renfrew with totals near 130. Rainfall totals near Tofino will be closer to 90 millimeters. I expect that you're going to see some areas that take even significantly more than that. All right, you can see still 60 to 110 in the North Shore. Mountains, that also goes, Vancouver as well, but specifically out to the North Shore and then down through the Fraser Valley as well on that east side there, 60 to 110 millimeters of rain. Like I say, Metro Vancouver, Vancouver, Burnaby, New Westminster, North Shore, including West Van, North Van, Northeast, including Coquitlam, Maple Ridge, Fraser Valley, West, including Abbotsford, Sunshine Coast, Gibsons, and Earls Cove. It's just that sort of southern section there in the lower mainland. It doesn't seem to be getting much of it, that southwest section. So prolonged period of heavy rain. Freezing levels will begin overnight. Heaviest rainfall on Sunday night. Further east towards Abbotsford, the heaviest rainfall is expected Sunday night and into Monday morning. Freezing levels will continue to rise during the day on Sunday and stay significantly elevated next week. The warm-up is here, friends. It's going to warm up. The rainfall amounts are expected to vary with location. Highest amounts will be near the coastal mountains from the North Shore through the Coquitlam region by Monday. Between 80 to 110 mils can be expected. The remaining regions might see even as much as 90. So that's for the whole region down there. And that's basically all we got so far in BC. And how many more statements we get put out on this, I'm not sure yet, but we will keep checking in today. It's noon now, so I suspect that's probably what we're going to see today. Usually they have them up kind of by midday. Not always. Sometimes they tack a few on later on the day as they need to, as it becomes clear they need to. And still up in that Thunder Bay area, winter storm watch up there. And if you go up near Quebec City and just north of that, flash freezing warning continues for them. And then over in Newfoundland, freezing rain warning still from that storm that we sort of looked at briefly on the satellite. And look at this. Down into the highlands, wind warning for you in Nova Scotia and Cape Breton. And we'll just sort of Watch how this low plays out. Slapping the coast through Saturday into Sunday. Some precip inland. Next low comes on in. Slaps again. Here we go. A new one forming out there. 960, 965. Pretty deep looking one. So maybe by midweek we're going to see a pretty strong storm out there, especially. No 1, 2, 3 coming in perpetually. And it just was to hang around there for a little while. And that's what we'll be looking at through the next week. Kind of a period of unstable weather, but warmer, bringing more precip to us. How warm? Well, let's have a look. I mean, doesn't the sight of this make you happy? There's that blast of cold air heading east. Watch this. Ooh, yeah, watch this. Oh, yeah, watch this. Boom! Alberta especially taking it nice. Look at that. Wow, there's going to be some real heat down the U.S. side. I mean, what? Are we looking at 20s and maybe even 30s south of us? What if some of that can actually get dragged up here? It's not another question. We could see temperatures be a lot warmer than this if this is going on. This is bizarre, man. This amount of heat, it's March. But you can keep telling me climate change isn't real. Oh, Joey, you're just alarmist. And this is what's frustrating is you make a weather channel and you're like, well, just talk about the weather. Just talk about the weather. Well, how can I just talk about the weather if you're saying to me the things I know about weather aren't happening and aren't real? And meanwhile, we have all these cuts from Elon's douche that have now limited the amount of weather balloons that are being launched through the United States. Now there's in a lot of places just one launch a day. So we have less data coming in now at higher atmospheric conditions. It's a really bad situation because they don't want us to talk about this. And it's like, how can I just be a weather guy and not mention the fact that the profession I love and the science I love is under clear attack, and the people who are attacking it, I need to speak out against. Otherwise, I'm going to feel like I'm not being honest about the situation. So that's just a taste of the warmth that's maybe coming next week. Oh yeah, ooh la la. A little bit of convective flurries and whatnot in the mountains. Even right now at my window, it's sunny, but there's a tall cloud out there that's making tiny snowflakes right now as I speak, or maybe grapple pellets. Maybe it is. I can't quite tell because I don't want to go look outside. Strong winds, strong rain. This evening at 7 p.m. already passing by Haida Gwaii, coming to. There you go, coming up that coastal section, up that west side of Vancouver Island, up the coast mountains, then starting to feel it overnight. Terra's starting to take some pretty heavy precipitation. The warmth hasn't fully arrived yet by this point, so you're still seeing snow in a lot of these locations, a little bit of snow going through the Caribou as well overnight by 4 in the morning. Most parts of BC have seen, a skiff come through their regions, if not right on them. Look at that. That's a full on. We got one little area there in the Lillooet area that maybe won't get any. I mean, let's not over expect here. I mean, it's not, even if you see some snow, I'm not saying everyone's going to get 30 centimeters. No. And what's going to happen is this warm sector, as you can already see, look at the freezing levels are rising. You can tell by the fact that there's no snowflakes anymore for icons on Vancouver Island by Sunday afternoon. It's just pure rain, heavy rain in the south end of the island, heavy rain up that in the Olympic Peninsula. Going to be really gross going over the Duff. You're going to be really gross traveling over Rogers Pass on Sunday. I wouldn't want to do it. Don't try to go, if you have to come back from Alberta to come back to BC or vice versa. I'm concerned about your safety anywhere on that approach into Alberta. Really, I mean, look at Revelstoke, look at Highway 16, look at Highway 3, maybe even a little bit of freezing rain at times as that transition works its way in, as warmer temperatures work them way in. We're still hanging on there. Kamloops at 3 degrees at 3 in the morning. You're going to see a bit of a change this week in that regard. But now, looking at Monday, how's your work week start? You got to do some long haul trucking over the Rockies. Looking bad for you. Going to be really messy for you. Still on Monday with the warm up starting to come now. We're hoping to see some warmer temperatures already. Look at Medicine Hat, 12 degrees. Kamloops 8, Kelowna 10 on Monday afternoon. Quesnel 10 degrees. Ooh yeah. Williams Lake 9 in the after 3 in the afternoon. Really good. Kelowna 14. Wow, wouldn't that be nice? I'm going to go down there. In fact, next week, Saturday, Friday, I'm going down to Penticton, down to that area. I'm going to be so happy to see some of that. A little bit of freezing rain and drizzle and precipitation, mix of this and that through, into Tuesday morning in the Rockies. That's possible that you might see some of that. You might come across just a moment of it that makes for a little bit of black ice, but there we see the high pressure establishing itself real nicely. Of course, that's going to be turning clockwise. That's going to help deliver some of that warmth in for a little while we wait for the next storm. Well, you can see it's like atmospheric river round 2, but 9 a.m., 10 a.m., already 9 degrees in Vernon, well above zero in Prince George. Now it's coming towards noon. Seeing that warm up. Look at these these temperatures we're seeing over in the Alberta side. Really nice. Look at those temperatures down by Portland, 23 in Portland at that time. Ooh, boy. 10 in Williams Lake, 13 in Vernon through the afternoon on Tuesday. It'll probably be warmer than that, folks. Probably be much warmer than that. And our next round of precipitation's coming. There's that next stronger looking stormish thing that we saw earlier on the model diagram. That's what's coming next here. It's starting to dig in low, 993 Wednesday overnight, but that should drop. Watch, there it goes, 991. Getting a little deeper, sinking. But yeah, we had a couple days there where the temperatures were quite nice. Vancouver at 4 in the morning on Wednesday, 11 degrees. So this is bringing that warm weather. It's going to bring that kind of thing. Careful. Well, I mean, we'll be watching this next week when we start making our weekly forecast, but maybe see a line of precip going through at different times. But here we go, 15 degrees at 11 in the morning, and 18 in Seattle, 12 Vernon, 20 in Portland, 21 in Great Falls. This is some warm temperatures. Boise, Idaho, 24 degrees on Wednesday. Look at that. Thunderstorms up the coastline, specifically Washington State, and for a little while at least, into Oregon through Portland and whatnot. Maybe seeing some flashes of lightning again. A little bit of snow in northern BC on Wednesday evening. See that low digging down now and down to 986, getting deeper and not moving a whole lot. So that's what we'll be watching for next week, seeing sort of that instability, watching it get warmer. Can't wait. We're so overdue for some warm weather. We totally deserve to have a couple days where it's here in the mountains, not so friggin' stinking, ridiculously cold, miserable, and crappy all the time. So that'll be coming up in our next forecast video, looking at next week's temperatures and precip possibilities. But for now, we'll just sign off on that and say, okay, everybody, have yourself a good afternoon. Take care out there. You've been forewarned. Look out for rock slides, avalanches, and things like that. Oh, that gives me an idea. I should actually mention avalanches one more time. And what do we do have on the Alberta side specifically right now? We got a special public avalanche warning in effect. Everything else is pretty good except for the north coast mountains. Basically there you're seeing high new snow, strong southerly winds created storm slabs. So look for that in the afternoons to be high there. And then we got the special public avalanche warning, which is on the Alberta side of the Rockies. And it says natural avalanche is still being observed and human triggering remains likely. Let's look at the SPA, see what it says. So we looked at this in the show the other night, but recent snow overlies a weak snowpack, which has produced some very large avalanches over the last 2 weeks. Maybe the entire snowpack might go at some times. It's like, boof, everything goes at once. They can be triggered remotely, could be initiated from a distance. Hey, how's it going over there? How's the skiing? Down it comes, right? Stormy weather could add to some more problems there. So just be careful. We've already had 2 deaths last week, Friday, 8 days ago that happened. And they happened within, it was amazing. They happened within a very short period of time of each other. So it was like within half an hour on that Friday. It was like 3:30 one happened in Lake Louise, 4 o'clock one happened in Kananaskis. It's just like that, right? So I'd like to see us get through the season without any more deaths on the mountains from avalanches or anything like that. Okay, that's the show for today. Hit like, share, subscribe. You guys are literally keeping me alive. Surprising, despite the fact that I've been struggling and battling in panic mode this month. It feels like I'm actually going to get through this one on the survival level, and that's because everybody's sharing, liking, showing up, and being like, Joey, we hear you. You're so close to achieving your dream of getting this channel sustainable. We hear you. That is driving you crazy and heartbreaking you, the struggle of trying to get through there in the middle of your cabin fever season. So yeah, every March is always hard here in the mountains. There's not much to do right now. Anyways, that's all for me this afternoon. Hit like, share, subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye now.